Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thanks so much for joining me. Now today I get to share with you an unboxing for the Spellbinders Card of the Month Club kit. This is the July 2018 Card of the Month Club. Now Spellbinders was kind enough to send this to me and wanted me to share an unboxing with you guys and also do a couple projects. So we're going to take a look at what comes in the kit. First off, you get actually a step-by-step guide on how to create this cute little card. So that's really nice and handy to have. And then you get some cardstock. Just going to go through it real fast. These cardstocks are textured. I don't know if you can, the camera can pick it up a little bit, but you get a white and a pink, a yellow, a light pink, a orange, and these are your pattern papers here. Now this is got gold foiling to it, and these papers here are all 8.5 by 11. And then you get some nice little text background paper. You get an ombre heart pattern. You get some cute little girls in some bathing suits, and you get some stripes, and then you get a double-sided gold mirror cardstock. Now, always in the Spellbinders Card of the Month Club kits, you get 10 envelopes. They're A2 in size, and then you also get 10 pre-scored and folded A2 sized card bases. And these are the same textured white cardstock that I had showed you earlier. So everything's made for you. That's the great thing about the Spellbinders kits. Everything's included. And now in this month's kit, you get some vellum stickers. Some have gold accent, like the Hello has gold, and then the others have real pretty soft colors. Nice little sentiments there. And it has vellum, sticky vellum backed. And then you get a sheet of alphabet stickers. These are a real pretty green, like a mint green, I would say. You get a sheet of those. And then you get some clear stickers. These sentiments are so fun. I'm going to put them on some white cardstock so you can see. But the images are colored in, but they're clear. So they're really neat to add to card bases. So you get let's celebrate, the world is your oyster, be happy, be awesome, ice cream for ice cream. So a lot of fun summer sentiments. So you get that. And then you get some ephemera pieces. Now this kit for July is all about summer, so you get a lot of fun summer elements. You get 2 little hearts with foil accents. You get a nice little smoothie that says chill. You get a fun cutout, and you get an ice cream truck. You get a pretzel with gold accent to it. Another little ticket. You get a sunshine, a little pina colada drink. You get a bathing suit. You get 2 tags, an orange and a pink, and then you get this cute little ice cream with gold accent, and then a real pretty leaf has gold accent also. So those are your ephemera pieces. Now these are 3D embellishments. They have foam on the back, and you can just pop them up, and so you get 2 of those. One says happy, one says lovely. And then you get some real pretty pale pink sequins. And then you get a little tassel, which is really cute. And then you get 8 white enamel dots. And then you get a variety of ribbon here. Now you get 5 different types of ribbon, and then some gold string, which is really neat. Now the first ribbon here is sheer, and I would say it's about a 1/2 inch. And then you get some seam binding. Seam binding is a little less than 3/4 of an inch. And then you get some sheer pink. And then you get some satin ribbon, white satin, and then some white satin or mint colored satin ribbon. So those are your ribbons. Now also with the July kit, like I said, everything comes with the kit, so you get some double-sided tape, and this is plenty of tape. You're going to have lots left over, but it's double-sided tape. And then you get some foam squares. You just punch them out, and there's adhesive backing on the front and the back. And then you also get some dies. Now this month, like I said, the theme is summer, and so we're going to take a look here. Just going to scoot everything over so you can actually see them. Okay. Now this first die here, you get a little tag. And another thing about the Spellbinders dies is there's some of them have embossing, which is so fantastic. But you get the tag, the sunglasses, and then you get some flip-flops, which are so cute. And then you get a banner, or what do you call that? A tag die. You get a sun, and then you get a circle die for the sun. Now this I think was just a little bonus, but this is, I believe, the Platinum 6 machine, the die cut machine, and it's on a little keychain, and I thought that was so cute. Be nice for you to lock up your craft room and put your key on that one. But we're going to jump in with our first project with card number 1. I wanted to use this really pretty ombre pattern paper, so I'm going to trim down a panel. Now this panel is let's see, 4 inches by 5 1/4, so it's going to leave me a 1/4 edge around my card base. Now I wanted to add a little bit of pink. I love the ombre look of those hearts, but I wanted to bring in a little bit more pink. So I'm actually going to take the rest of the pattern paper and cut out a diagonal stripe of it, and then just using my double-sided tape, I am going to adhere that at a diagonal on my panel here. This just brings a little bit of pink in there. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add some tape behind this panel, and we're going to go ahead and tape that down in the center of our card base. Now again, the card bases are included. They're pre-scored and folded, so they're side folding cards, but they are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. It's a standard A2 size card base. We're just going to tape that down right in the middle. Okay, now we need a focal point. So I have a piece of white cardstock here, and the measurements is 2 inches by 4 1/4. I wanted it to fit my ice cream cone. We're going to use this embellishment. I thought it'd be fun to use the sun die with the gold mirror cardstock and cut out a gold sun. And then I also wanted to use this sticker here that says "Be Awesome." But I want to pop it up, so I'm just going to stick that down onto a piece of white cardstock. And then using that circle die that came with this kit, I'm going to cut my sentiment out here. Okay, now I also cut out a piece of pattern paper from the one that had the words all over it, and I just made sure I wanted it to be black and white, so I just cut around the colored portion of that pattern paper. But I cut out a thin strip, added adhesive behind it, and I'm going to stick that to the bottom of this panel here. And then I also cut out a 1/4 inch strip of the gold foil. I'm going to add a piece of tape to my panel. The nice thing about the tape too is it rips. You have to use your scissors, you can just tear it. And that makes it so much easier. But I added my gold foiling to the very bottom, and I'm going to trim off the excess. Okay, now I want to bring in a little bit more pink. So I'm going to grab that heart pattern paper again, and I'm going to cut out a strip of pink cardstock, and so I'm going to cut right in between the hearts. So it's going to be a pretty thin strip, but it's enough just to make my little panel pop. Okay, I'm going to take some of my double-sided tape, and just using my scissors, I'm going to cut that tape right down the middle. For today's card, I'm using everything that comes in the kit. The only thing that you will need to create these cards are your paper trimmer, your scissors, and your die cut machine. Now I'm adding my pink strip here, and I'm going to again trim off the excess. Lovely. Okay, now I'm just kind of arranging it how I think it would look the nicest, but I thought about I'm going to add some ribbon. I thought I haven't did this in a while, so I'm just going to tie a bow to the left over here using the white satin ribbon, and then I taped down my sun, popped up my ice cream cone, and then popped up my Be Awesome sentiment right on top of the sun. So my panel is ready to go. All I have to do is add some dimensional adhesive behind it and place it to the left of my card, and that finishes it off. Here's a close-up. Okay, now we're going to move along to card number 2. I left the measurements for these two panels using the pink cardstock. There's a light pink and a dark pink. And then using the white cardstock that came in the kit, I'm going to cut out my little frame. And I like this because you can see the embossed detail. I think it just adds a lot of texture. Now I wanted to use this sentiment here. It was so pretty. It says, "You're a great big bunch of beautiful." So I'm just carefully peeling it off, and I'm going to place it on my little frame there. Okay, I'm going to use my double-sided tape, add a piece on the back side here, and then you can see I cut out 2 thin strips of the gold mirror cardstock. I'm going to actually attach that to the left side of these strips of paper. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to my darker pink. Add my strip of gold, and then we're going to kind of layer them together, but not just quite yet because I wanted to know my spacing. So I'm going to grab my card base, and then I'll just go ahead and adhere my pink one down first, my light pink one. And I'm going to leave a little bit of my card base showing here to the left. So I'll adhere that. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my darker pink. Now here I added tape to my card base. In hindsight, I wouldn't have did that. I would have shifted my pattern paper over a little bit, but that's okay. So I just added my darker pink, and now I'm going to use my little foam squares and pop up my sentiment. I'm just going to use the negative space so we don't waste any of it. This is going to go all the way to the left of my panel, pretty much in the center to the left. Maybe a little bit higher than the center. Okay, now we need some bells and whistles. So in the ephemera set there was this little two-tone gold heart. I thought it'd be fun to take the gold twine and loop it behind it. So I added a piece of the double-sided tape, and then I'm just sticking the twine behind it, kind of looping it all the way around. And making sure my tails of the string end up right behind that heart. Now I'm going to grab a foam square here and just tape everything down. Remove the release paper, and then we'll stick that on the top here. Now to add a little bit of dimension, I'm using that second heart. I actually just folded it in half and then added a piece of the double-sided tape behind it. And then that way it's got a little bit of dimension. Now you can see here too, I actually took a strip of white cardstock and then I added it to the right side of my card base, kind of breaking it up a little bit. And then I decided to add just something else that was missing for me. So I'm going to create a fishtail banner, but I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I cut it in half. I taped one down to the very top, and then the bottom piece I'm going to carefully lift up my sentiment and stick underneath. So it looks like it's continuous. and I think the white just kind of breaks everything up a little bit. I'm going to trim off the top, and then I'm going to go in with the white enamel dots and just add a few here and there. I'm going to add 3 on the bottom here, and then I'll add 3 to the top. Maybe one more. And that finishes off card number 2. I like the pink, so I think it turned out really pretty. And here's a close-up. Okay, now for card number 3, I'm taking a piece of the textured white cardstock that came in the kit, and I'm doing a little bit of shading with my Distress Oxide ink. I'm using squeezed lemonade and some fossilized amber. I'm going to grab my sun die and just use it as measurement. Make sure I cover the entire surface. And then I'm also going to use the small circle die. I'm going to cut out a yellow circle, and then using some worn lipstick, I'm going to add a little bit of shading towards the bottom, and then I'm also going to add a little bit more of the fossilized amber, just using what's left over on my blending tool. And I think that's going to be a great color for my flip-flops. I really wanted to use these. I think they're going to be so fun. Now the flip-flops came with a second piece that have the top portion of them, so I'm going to die cut those out using the white cardstock. Now I'm also taking a piece of the gold mirror cardstock, cutting out the glasses, and then I went ahead and decided to go ahead and die cut out another pair of the flip-flops. I'm just going to layer those both together, just so my flip-flops have a little bit of soul. And I just like the layered, but I think the gold on the flip-flops with the coral is so pretty. Now I was going to attempt to use my tape to adhere these pieces to my shoes, but just couldn't do it. So I did break out my glue just for these. So there's my little flip-flops. Now for my sun, I'm going to add a piece. I'm shading it a little bit more on the top here. Originally I was going to put the circle on top of the sun, but now I'm going to flip-flop it, so I just darkened it a little bit. I add a foam square on the bottom, place my sun on the top, so we have a nice dimensional little sun there. Okay, here's my card base. Now for my background, I cut out a strip of the stripe paper here, and it's about a 1 3/4 inch strip. I'm going to add some of my tape behind here, and we're going to tape that down. I'm going to tape it down to the right here of the card. Now we get to arrange our little scene. I'm going to add my little sun. And then I'm going to place my little flip-flops on there. I'm going to actually pop one up with the foam tape, or the foam squares, and then I'm going to use my my tape to secure the other one down. Now in the ephemera there was a little ticket that said, what did it say? Sun and Fun. I thought it looks kind of like a license plate. It was cute. So I'm going to pop that up, place that in my little scene. Now we're going to add our little glasses. I'm going to add one here, add one foam square here, and I end up having another one because my sun does have dimension. So to make it level, I'm going to add one more to this lens here. Okay, now for my sentiment, I chose to use the vellum here. I wanted to use the vellum Hello. It was really soft, and I like the gold. It just kind of tied everything together. I'm going to place that right underneath the flip-flops. And that finishes off that card. I think it turned out real fun and cute. Okay, now we're going to move along to my fourth project. Now I left the measurements on each of the pieces of cardstock that I had cut out, along with the mirror cardstock. And then this pink one here is 3 inches by 2 3/4, I believe. the main measurement you kind of want to focus on is just the 3 inches because I end up overlapping a little bit. Now I'm just going to layer my orange cardstock on top of the dark pink. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my light pink. So I'll add my tape on the bottom. I'm going to trim it down a little bit. Okay. And the measurements that I did give you earlier were the size that I have here. But I'm just going to use my tape and tape that down to my card base. I love those colors. I think they're so pretty. Okay, I'm going to use the little chill smoothie here. And for my sentiment, I grabbed one of the acetate sentiment stickers that says "Let's Celebrate." I'm going to place that in the bottom. Okay. Now it was a little boring for me, so I thought, oh, we need to do a little bit more. So I did decide to pop up my smoothie with some foam tape. And then in the ephemera pieces, there were 2 tags. There was a yellow one and a dark pink one, like a fuchsia almost. So I'm going to grab the fuchsia colored tag, and then I think that's going to make a great background. And I just I haven't pressed down really good yet because I'm not sure of my placement, but I think this is how I want it. So I'm going to tape down my sun to my tag, and then I'll go ahead and add my little smoothie right on top. Okay, we're going to punch out that center hole, and then I had a little bit of the gold twine left, so I thought I'm going to tie a little gold bow. I just doubled it up and tied a bow at the very top. Then I added some double-sided tape behind this little element, and then that's going to go on my card base. Simple, but I think real fun. And that's it for card number 4. Here's a close-up. Okay, now we get to move along to card number 5, our final project. I'm going to cut out one of my frames here using the frame die and also a gold tag. And you can see here the gold embossing that those dies do. It's just beautiful. Now for my sentiment, I chose the sticker that says "The world is your oyster." And then, I don't know if you caught it, but I did put the measurement of my orange cardstock that I had cut out over there on top of it. I am going to just add some double-sided tape behind my frame here. And we're going to go ahead and tape that down to our orange cardstock. A little bit towards the top. That looks great. Okay, now I'm just kind of arranging things the way I want them to go. And then I decided to add a ribbon. I wanted to use the seam binding here. So I tied a bow all the way to the right, just around my orange panel. Just to give something for my tag to basically be stuck to. So I'm going to add some double-sided tape behind my panel. And then I wanted to add in a little bit of blue. So I cut down a strip of the blue and pink stripe paper. I'm going to adhere that directly to my card base. And I'm just using my glass mat as a guide. Just trim the excess off here. And then I decided to add a little gold too. So I cut down a 1/4 inch strip of the gold mirror cardstock. This time I'm going to take my tape and place it on my card base. And then I'll go ahead and tape down my gold piece. You can't see very much of it, but I think just those little extra details kind of make a lot of difference. Now I'm ready to add my panel right on top in the center. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to use my tape again and adhere my tag to my panel. And then I had one piece of the foam tape left. We're going to use it. I used every last drop of the foam because I love dimension. And I didn't want to bring any of my own. I just wanted to use what was in the kit. But It worked out perfect. So I popped up my World is Your Oyster, and then in the acetate sentiment stamp set, I got a little heart, and I'm just going to place that on my tag. And that finishes off that card. Here's a close-up of card number 5. So here's the 5 projects that I made today with the Spellbinders Card of the Month Club Kit. If you are a Club Kit subscriber, you know the value that's in here, and I hope this gives you some inspiration on how to use the kit. And if you're interested in the Club Kits, I will leave links below for you in the description area. I think they retail at over $50, but I think if you're a club member, you can get them for $30. But I'd love to hear your opinions. Let me know what you think. I wish you a fantastic day. Thank you again, Spellbinders, for sending me this. I had such a fun time playing with it. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.